Okay, so what actually is this core values report and when would I use it? The report itself is actually fairly simple. It begins with the individual top 5 values for each member of the family, as well as an explanation of where those values land them in what we call the core quadrant and their core style, which I'll talk about later. It talks about the strengths and weaknesses of that core style, as well as those questions that are most important if you hold those top 5 core values. Next, the report has the top 5 shared values of the family as a whole. Really neat to talk through to see where that overlap happens between individual core values and that collective top core value. We also have what we call a family heat map. It shows where each core style, based on your core values, ends up on this map, and you get to visually see how your family fits together. Again, provides some great conversations. And finally, the report provides tangible options for estate planning. It takes those top shared values for the family and then finds ways to practically use them in an estate plan. For example, if your family really values connection and experience, that might be something you want to put in your estate plan. You might want to plan your finances around opportunities for the family to always be able to gather, connect, and experience something together. Likewise, if the core values are empathy and gratitude or generosity, charitable giving might be one of those things that comes up as an area of focus for your estate plan. And so great conversations could be had for what areas should we donate to that match our family core values. When would you use this report? Simple. You can use it with brand new clients. It could be part of your onboarding process that lets clients know right away you care about what matters to them most. It could also be used with newer clients as a follow-up to your traditional onboarding practices. Maybe this could be the next step after you gather that initial information from them. This report can be used with a couple or with whole families. It provides a connectedness with each member of the family and again connects you with those next generations. Another example is, let's say you have a member of a couple who is not comfortable really talking about finances or financial decisions. This could be a great way to engage them on something different, something that they want to talk about, their values and the stories behind them. And it gives you an opportunity to hear their voice as you then move into more tactical discussions about finances and financial plans. We've even had advisors use the core values report when their clients are feeling a bit disconnected or having a little bit of struggle with their teenagers or their young adults, and they really want a tool to help them understand what's going on in their hearts and in their heads. I worked with a client who wanted to find a way to motivate his young adult. He felt like his son was very talented and had great opportunities, but wasn't very motivated yet. And so he wanted to not have a conflict discussion, but I want to understand, son, what it is that you value so that we can have a conversation of how do we move forward on these ventures together by understanding what each person values rather than being frustrated with each other and not understanding. Another great time to use this report is when your clients are going through some life changes. Maybe they've hit retirement and they're looking at their estate plan and their finances a bit differently. And maybe they need a little bit more confidence in making a plan that's really going to fit who they are as a family. This idea of return on legacy rather than just return on investment. Or maybe you have families that the children are now older and perhaps they're ready to, let's say, take on the family business. But families might really want to dive into those values first before we make this large business change, before we make a big decision about our financial future. I want to revisit these values and make sure we're all on the same page or that we all understand each other and what matters most. And finally, if you're holding a family meeting and you're looking for a really great tool to provide some good conversation among family members as they set their financial goals, the Core Values report would sure come in handy.